Hear me say this. We're going to stop using the phrase, whatever you can give would be great, effective immediately. Welcome to the Nonprofit Launch Plan podcast for startups, small and growing nonprofits. This podcast exists to help you build your nonprofit from the ground up on a strong foundation. And in every episode, we give you frameworks, tools, and the personalized guidance you need to create lasting impact. My name is Matt Stockman. I'm your host. Thrilled you're here. At Nonprofit Launch Plan, we believe that every nonprofit has to be operating at peak performance in 6 key areas in order to be successful. Those 6 areas are leadership, development or fundraising, marketing, programs and services, operations, and finances. And it takes all 6 in tip-top shape in order for your nonprofit to be successful. So every episode of this podcast, we talk about a topic that is core to one of these 6 areas. And today we're highlighting the 3rd step in the Fearless Fundraising Framework, which is the point in the conversation with a potential giver where you ask them to take action. So step 3 is the ask. And we'll talk more about what that means and how to do it with confidence and clarity coming up in just a moment. But before we get into it, I do want to tell you about a special freebie that I've got for you. If you're struggling with fundraising, it is the number one pain point for just about everybody launching a nonprofit, and it should be at least 80% of what you're focused and concentrating on, especially at the beginning of your nonprofit journey. If that's you, I've got this great free mini course that's a PDF workbook and 5 quick videos that walk you through the 5 core steps of the Fearless Fundraising Framework. These 5 steps, they create a proven plan and a process for you that will help you build your confidence in fundraising, will take out a lot of the fear that you might be feeling, and create more results for you, which means more people partnering with you and supporting your work. The reason fundraising can be so tough for most people is a lot of people roll into it without a plan. Or if they have a plan, it's basically, my plan is to talk to all my friends and family and then leave the rest up to hope. And this core fundraising framework really solidifies in your mind the emotional journey that anybody who gives to any nonprofit or ministry work goes through, so that when you understand that, you can sit with anybody, a friend, a family member, or a stranger, and guide them through the process of how their involvement fits into the impact your work is going to make. This mini course, it's free and it's for you. You can get it just by going to the website nonprofitlaunchplan.com. Again, nonprofitlaunchplan.com. So let's get into today's episode with a little review to begin with. There are 5 steps to the Fearless Fundraising Framework, and today we're focusing on step number 3. Now, step number 1 is you have to identify the specific problem that your nonprofit exists to solve. It's got to be specific and it's got to be unique. Step 2 then is the solution. We talked about this in last week's podcast episode. Couple of key things. It's not you. Your nonprofit is not the solution to the problem that your nonprofit is supposed to solve, but rather it's the impact that your work has. That's the solution. Even in that moment, you're positioning the potential giver as the hero of your nonprofit's story. Then step 3, that's where we find ourselves today, is the ask, or turning words into action. And spoiler alert, this just might be the hardest step for you to be able to put into practice. Here's why. As people who are passionate about the work of our organizations, your passion, it really comes out when you talk about problems and solutions. I mean, after all, that's the stuff that energizes you and keeps you up at night both. But once you've clearly presented the problem and solution to your prospect, whether it's in a face-to-face meeting or a group setting, or even in an email, the time has come where you have to boldly ask for their financial partnership and support, which is tough. As a coach, I'm always telling my coaching clients that a large part of my work is actually just planting seeds in their mind that over time will grow and change the way that they think about what they're doing. And that's really what this podcast is about. I think I'm much more effective as a coach if I can help you think about the task at hand the right way, rather than just giving you a list of, hey, do these 5 things and don't do these other 5 things and you'll be successful. So this podcast and this episode in particular, I want to plant a seed in your mind about asking people that actually points back to the last couple of episodes of the podcast. Remember what we said in the earlier episodes, that the goal of step 1 and 2 is to position the potential partner as the hero in the story. And the role that you play is one of the guide. Now, as we're at step 3, the ask, the roles remain the same, and you're simply connecting the hero through a financial gift to the impact that gift will have on somebody's life. And here's the key. The role that they play is just as significant as the role that you play. Everybody is an equal partner. Everybody is equally important. And there's a key difference here that is much of where the power in this framework lies. I'm a big proponent of relational giving rather than transactional giving. And this is how I demonstrate the difference between the two. You're not asking somebody to give you financial resources so that you can go do something. That's actually a transaction. Rather, you're inviting them to join with you as partners so that together the work gets done through each one of you. That's a relationship, and people get excited all day long about creating impact stories through relationships. So allowing those seeds to sort of germinate in your mind and really take root will help you be clear and dynamic in inviting others into partnership. I work with a number of Christian organizations, and it's at this point that if you follow the Bible, you see that this mindset puts the responsibility for the funding squarely on God's shoulders rather than yours, and also takes some of the sting out of people not responding favorably. The more transactional your ask is, the more personally we can sort of take it when somebody is a no or a not now. Couple of other key points to consider about this. Number 1, be clear about what you need and what the person's gift will do. The more directly the gift is tied to the problem and solution, steps 1 and 2, the better. For example, let me sort of break it down for you so you can get a feel for what I'm talking about. Here's a nonprofit I'm creating in my own mind, and the problem the nonprofit solves is this. Individuals with disabilities in our county have very few places to receive the care they need, and the places they can go are very restrictive and don't allow for any sense of a normal life. That's a specific, unique problem. Then we offer up the solution. Our community residential facility provides the care that these individuals need, but with abundant freedom and the goal to guide them towards their life purpose and a sense of dignity. As you listen to that, you can already get a sense of how we're positioning the potential giver as the hero of the story, and then we kind of seal the deal with the ask, step number 3. Here's how it goes. We've got this new home opening next month that can house 10 individuals, get them off our waiting list and into these life-changing programs. Now, the monthly cost of care for one of the residents is $3,000. Can you commit to $100 a month to cover a day of care for one of these individuals? So now we're being clear about what we need and what the person's gift will do. This gift will get a person off of the waiting list and into this brand new house. Put yourself in the potential partner's shoes for just a moment. If a friend needed help, wouldn't you want to know exactly how you can help? And it's really easy to say that the overall need, for example, in this situation, the overall need is $3,000. So whatever you can give would be great. Hear me say this. We're going to stop using the phrase, whatever you can give would be great, effective immediately. We think a phrase like whatever you can give would be great takes the pressure off. But in reality, the lack of clarity frustrates people because now they feel like they have to guess. So it's better to say something like this. The overall goal is monthly support equaling $3,000 a month. And to get there, could you commit to investing $100 a month? So that's one key point. Be really clear about what you need and what the person's gift will do. And forevermore, know whatever you can give would be great language. Second, don't give too many options or giving levels. Typically, it's just 1 or 2. For sure, no more than 3 options. And then third, remember your ask might need to be tailored for the situation that you're in. For example, an email to your whole database, maybe a few hundred or thousands of people asking for funding help for a special project that your nonprofit is raising money for, in comparison to a face-to-face meeting with a high-capacity donor who's interested in making big impact, those are going to be very different asks. So doing your homework ahead of time is really important. There's a lot more to creating a strong, clear ask than we can really dive into now. But for now, the two most significant takeaways are, number one, fearless fundraising is about relationships and partnerships, where together you and your financial supporters are playing an equally important role in the work. That mindset keeps the process from turning into a transaction. Then second, it's really important to present the need with clarity and with just one or two suggestions about how you'd like the individual to partner with you. No more language ever again. Whatever you can give would be great. We're not saying that anymore. If you've got questions or you need help articulating your ask, just let me know. You can either shoot me an email at matt@nonprofitlaunchplan.com, or you can book 20 minutes for free on my website. Just go to nonprofitlaunchplan.com and click the book a call. Step 4 is coming up. That is creating a sense of urgency. That's it for this episode of the Nonprofit Launch Plan podcast for startups, small and growing nonprofits. Again, thank you so much for investing the time in growing your organization, for starting what you're starting, and do not lose heart. I know there's a lot about this whole process that just feels super overwhelming. I get it. I've been there, but I'm here alongside you as your cheerleader and a guide whenever you need it. And like I mentioned before, if you've got a special question or an issue that you're facing and you'd like to talk about it, it's really easy to book some free time on my calendar. When you do, here's what's going to happen, just so you're not surprised. There's no pressure, no obligation, no pitching, just, hey, we get to know each other. I ask you some questions. We can talk about whatever it is that you're dealing with. We'll have a quick chat, and then I'll follow up within 24 hours guaranteed with some recommendations for next steps if I think I can help you in some way. The whole thing is free. And also remember the other freebie that I've got for you on the website. If you want to binge all my material related to the 5 steps of the Fearless Fundraising Framework, I've got this easy to use workbook with the 5 short videos that go along with it that walk you through the 5 steps, including the ask, the step we've just been talking about. It will build your confidence in knowing how to invite other people to partner with your nonprofit financially. It's free, and you can get it on the website at nonprofitlaunchplan.com. That's it for this episode of the Nonprofit Launch Plan podcast for startups, small and growing nonprofits. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. And if you found this helpful, please share it with another nonprofit leader who you think might benefit from it. Until next time, keep making a difference. And again, thanks for listening.